the scoring system, the free-flowing martial arts. It's such a beautiful combat sport, such a beautiful spectator sport.
Judge number 5, судья номер 5, Boon Wei Nguyen, Singapore.
And these judges play an important role for these athletes.
They do. We'll see throughout the day different strategies this evening of the judges. And it'll be interesting to see, Robin, as we move through, beginning with the women's 60 kilogram and then on to the men's 65 kilogram. And then we'll see some of our heavier weights in men's 80 kilogram and also our heaviest weight in the men's category, men's 90 kilogram. So it'll be interesting to see the different strategies that in the weight categories and how the athletes have been coached to approach such a high level of competition.
We have 19 fights today to show you, starting with the women's 60 kilograms, like you mentioned, Tony. And one thing our fans will see very quickly, of course, we have tons of Wushu and Sanda fans that will be watching on YouTube, IWUF Wushu YouTube channel. But those of you who are new to the sport of Sanda, what you will find is it's incredibly fast. We beautifully combine the striking with the fists and the feet with the art of wrestling, grappling, and throws. Tony, maybe for our new fans, tell them about the scoring areas of the body for the striking.
Sure, and that's an important point, Robin. And while it is full contact fighting, not every area of the body is a legal scoring area. The torso, of course, which is covered by the chest protection, is a scoreable target. Obviously, the head also covered, and the thigh. Those are scoreable areas. So as long as your punches, kicks are in those scoreable areas, you earn either 1 or 2 points.
And one thing our audience will see very quickly is the seamless blend between the striking and the wrestling. How does the wrestling score for these athletes and artists?
Well, the wrestling is also either 1 or 2 points, depending on whether the person that initiates the throw is balanced at the end of the throw and on their feet without holding their opponent. That's 2 points. But if they've thrown and they are in any way still on top of their opponent, it's only 1 point. So we'll see some 2 points for wrestling, some 1 points for wrestling, and as our audience may notice, they're fighting on the lei tai. If you successfully get your opponent off of the lei tai, then you score 2 points. So we're in for a treat in terms of the different possibilities for scoring.
You see Kristina Morozova from Russia is in the red against Ilona Ольховik from the Ukraine in the blue. We'll talk about scoring as we go further, and the audience will see very quickly. The striking will move to the grappling, and then the strategy of where you're positioned on that platform, on that lei tai, you can throw your opponent off. And the strategy, the way that this beautiful art blends together, the hands and the feet with that wrestling and those throwing, people are going to enjoy this a great deal. You see she enters here for that single leg, Morozova from Russia.
It's important to mention, Robin, that in the clinch, fighters aren't able to score points. So as long as they're in a clinch, sort of tied up there, even when they're kicking and punching, they aren't earning points. There's a nice spinning side kick from Ilona.
And right there, you saw her separate. You saw Ilona separate and throw the kick. And that's really understanding the art and the art of scoring. Because as you mentioned, if she hadn't separated, she wouldn't score there. And of course, you'll see that they'll fight in the clinch, no doubt. There's other value in striking your opponent in any combat sport. But for a scoring perspective, you have to separate to score. Won that round. Now you win 2 rounds and you win this contest. See the replay? Turning side kick, beautifully done. One thing I really have enjoyed is how well these athletes catch those kicks, and the risk of throwing a kick now, when somebody can take you down from it, it changes the meaning of every kick. Right there. Perfect example. As she wasn't able to get the takedown and get the points off that, but you can see how that changes the strategy of these strikers.
We will see, Robin, throughout the evening, fighters who are very adept at staying on one leg and neutralizing that takedown. So you'll see some fighters that haven't trained to stand on one leg and hold their balance, actually pushed around the ring on one leg, and then other fighters who go down easily with that one-leg takedown.
There's so many different skills in the arsenal of these martial artists. And we've definitely seen throughout, and people will see it tonight, we've seen that there are some very, very high level. I mean, this is the World Championships. These are among the best athletes in the world.
So let's see if Christina, who's on the national team from the home country, comes out to try and even this up.
And in those two, she does catch that, but Ilona will score on that kick. Christina is trying to be a little more mobile. It's such an honesty in how the striking is blended with the wrestling. It just, right there, you see as you can enter, there's a purity in the sport that you get that you don't get in many other striking sports, because that punch led to that single leg, which led to that takedown in those points.
And that takedown, Robin, for our audience was worth 1 point. So you'll see the hand gesture from the platform referee. One hand crossed over the other means that one point is awarded for the person who initiated the takedown being on top.
And you can see both the athletes there were trying to get into position to push each other from that platform. A clean push, as you mentioned to us, 2 points. But we've seen athletes be very good at dragging the other one down on top of them, which of course is no points. 2 minutes can feel like a long time. Great step out from Morozova, the Russian.
Yes, we see that Christina's picked up. She's gotten that spinning side kick a few times, and she just sidestepped and was able to get around at that time.
We don't have the scoring on the screen for our audience, but we can see it, and the coaches see it. Beautiful, beautiful throw from the head by Ilona. And she is ahead with 30 seconds remaining. So we'll probably see some aggression from Morozova. She tries to push her from the platform. And as Christina opens up, she also has to sort of pay less attention to her defensive assignments, and she will get hit. It's on a single leg from some of these athletes. We saw it there from Ilona, and we see it here. Nope. In that case, this division a fair bit.
Speed from Vietnam, known especially in a lighter weight. Women a little bit tall. So we'll...
Oh, that side kick is so gorgeous. There's courage in every one of these athletes to get just